when the latest classes are going. For those of you who don't know me, this is Dr. Ariel Policano, and this is our Genius Miracles Hour. This is an opportunity for anyone to be worked on. Let's go ahead and great for anybody to be worked on who really, really needs it. And we get so many calls from people, emails from people. Please, I need help. I need help with this. Can you help me with this? And so the Genius Miracles Hour is really meant to be an opportunity for you to get some of that help. So we welcome you on to volunteer, to have some love, frequencies, energy sent your way, especially if you're in need. And we also will help you to learn more about the genius, because you'll follow along as we work on the person. You get to learn more about how to utilize the genius and how to think about the genius. And we talk a lot about natural health and other concepts like that. So I just want to let you know that we're at geniusbiofeedback.com, and we do have some events coming up. So let's go to the events page. And we do have this afternoon, we have our Energy and Frequency podcast with Rukmani. Rukmani is a Kundalini yoga teacher, and she also does sound healing. And she has a really interesting journey of how she got to the place of healing. So this is someone outside of our genius community. So join us for the live stream of our Energy and Frequency podcast. You can register here at our events page, and do join us for that fun conversation to experience live, and also get to know other concepts in energy healing. Then we do have our energy medicine course coming up soon. So let's go ahead and talk about that. We have our energy medicine course, and the energy medicine course is basic concepts in energy medicine that we're going to be teaching to you. So it'll be things like understanding the meridians, understanding the nadis, understanding the chakras, understanding what a hertz is, resonance, coherence, heart coherence, things like that. So if that's something that you would like to learn about, and it will give you a lot of context for understanding what the genius does, then please check out our energy medicine course, which begins in just 1 week on the 19th of May. So you can check that out. We've also been doing an introduction class for our science of intention and the practical course of working with positive statements and creating your reality. And we're doing that starting on the 16th of June. And it's called Affirmational Magic. And we did some introduction classes that are available on my YouTube channel. And it's all about what happens in the brain when we think a certain thought. We broadcast out an intention. We are a scalar broadcast vehicle, and that intention gets broadcast out, and we begin to attract things related to our thoughts. So if you'd like to know more about how that process works, and then a step-by-step process to put it into practice for yourself to really create the life that you want, you'll want to join us for the amazing information, scientific studies, step-by-step process, and the exercises, the things that you can start doing right away to create the world that you really want. And a lot of what we're experiencing today, if it's not what we really want, it's often due to our thoughts. And we take that apart and look at it in the Affirmational Magic class. So check that out. Right now, we're going to get started with our Genius Miracles Hour, and let's see if our co-host has been able to join us today. And yes, absolutely wonderful. Okay, Mary, I'm going to invite you up here. And Adina, if you would like to join us, you've got 2 accesses going here. So just send me a chat message. Let me know if you'd like to join us today as part of the panelists. We would certainly invite you and have you join us here. So thank you everyone joining us for the Miracles Hour. We really value you and appreciate you being here. And I'm Shirley, welcome. I'm glad you're joining us as well today. Okay, Mary, how you doing?
I'm great, Ariel. How are you?
I'm doing great. And I know you're on vacation today, so you're at the beach and taking time out of your day to join us. So thank you.
Yes, you're welcome. I'm excited. I'm here for a couple of days with my son, who's in for a visit from New York.
That's wonderful.
College.
Wonderful. Wonderful. That's so generous of you to take time with us today. So I really want to thank you for that. Let's see if Adina, I'm not sure which access is yours. So let's just try to promote you here and then you let me know. So
and I appreciate the opportunity, Ariel. I love this. This is really a blessing to the community.
oh, yes, we want it to be that. We want everybody to benefit, including those. Okay, Adina, you look absolutely gorgeous today. It's so good to see you. And Adina and Susanna are going to be beginning, and I know I'd have to get an email to you and Susanna, so we'll definitely get that. They're going to be getting the Spanish language class on the 17th of May, which is a Tuesday. So I know a lot of you might be English speaking, but we're really going to promote it in our Spanish speaking community and our Facebook group. And Adina, just yesterday, somebody put a post in the Facebook group, Mercedes put a post in the Facebook group and said, when are you going to start those classes again? And somehow she just felt in the ethers that we were getting ready to do that.
Doors are opening, universe is opening.
Yeah, that's really, really super exciting.
Hello, Adina.
All right, well, go right ahead. Let's call for our volunteers. So anybody who wants to volunteer and be a part of class, I know we already have some volunteers. Just go ahead and put your wish, what you're working on, into the chat here, and we're just about to go ahead and get rolling with that as well. So let's go ahead and Mary, how has your week been overall? Things going well? You have some good conversations with your son?
I have. It's been a great week. We were kind of just usually when he's here for a visit, I'm about what could we do? Where is it we need to go or whatever. And this time it really is just about being, just about spending.
Whoa, that's great. How old is this son? How old is he?
He is a twin, and he is 20, about to be 21 in a couple of months.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Fantastic. That's amazing. And he's in finance and business.
Yes.
That's amazing. Mm-hmm. Okay. So Brandy, we're going to start with you. And if we have time, we're going to go on to some other folks. I know, Carol, you volunteered. So let's just go ahead and we'll get rolling here. We'll do as many as we can. But Brandy, we're going to start with you. So Brandy, do me a favor. In order to be a part of this, we need to have you find your camera and your microphone. Would you do that for me at this time so that we can work with you? And I know that Brandy got her Genius probably a couple of months ago, and we just really want to find out how she's doing, how things are going. So we're excited to check in with you. And so what I'm going to do is have you going to bring you up here as part of our panelists, and then everybody's going to chime in. We've got the Three Musketeers here working with you, our whole community working with you, and it's going to be very, very exciting. So when you're ready, just be sure that you are turning on your camera, and we also want to invite everyone. Where did you go, Brandy? We try to promote you to a panelist one more time here. Hopefully you'll pop up there in just a moment. So I want to invite everybody now, get your Genius ready, clear it out, begin a new session, right? That's what we need to do, begin a new session. And we can see that Brandy's information is in the chat. So go to the chat and find her first name, last initial, or her first and last name. All right, Brandy, we may not be able to work with you because something very weird is happening here. For some reason, we're not able. I wonder if you're joining from your phone, Brandy, or what's going on. There we go. Just maybe a slow internet. Okay, wonderful. Let's ask you to start your video and unmute. There we go. Brandy, how are you?
I'm wonderful.
Oh, I love the positivity. That's absolutely great. Did you get your Genius maybe a couple of months ago?
Yes, I did.
Okay, and I know you got the Elite package, and you, Keith shared the Genius with you, if I recollect correctly.
Yes, he did. Yes.
And where are you joining us from?
I am in Charleston, West Virginia.
Okay, wonderful. So great. All right, tell us a little bit about yourself and what you're hoping to achieve with the frequencies.
Well, I have been using them on a regular basis, and I am in a transition from selling insurance and moving into like life coaching and doing the biofeedbacks. But recently I've had a lot of things going on with love life and all that. So it's making it hard to concentrate. So I am hoping that you can shine some light on other frequencies or other things that I can do to bring in a harmonious love life, I guess.
So so do I gather that you're in a relationship right now and you're trying to manifest that person?
We're in no contact right now.
Oh, okay. And somebody that you were involved with?
Yes.
I have some suggestions for her, Ariel.
Okay, well,
Okay.
let's just try to get
Lovely.
I know you're already. Just for the whole audience here, everybody who's going to be working with you, can you elaborate a little bit more, just so it's not so mysterious, about what the situation is?
Well, I know that he is going through a lot of healing of traumas and stuff from his childhood as well. And I guess it just got to the point where he needs to work on himself, but I'm also working on myself as well and healing traumas from my childhood and, all those old wounds that you push each other's buttons when you get into a relationship, of being afraid of rejection and being hurt, and just all those emotions and stuff start getting stirred up. So,
Okay,
we
were you involved and then you broke up? That's what I'm trying to figure out. So tell us a little bit about that backstory.
Okay, so we have been talking on and off since August, and we got to a point where I thought that we were going to move to the next stage of like being in a committed relationship.
Okay, got it.
He just kind of retreated, and now he's like in Hermit Stage. So I don't
Okay, now
really.
I understand. And in general, tell us the qualities that you want in a relationship.
Mutual compassion, communication, very good communication, someone that is on the same kind of vibe, if that makes any sense.
Of course, that's wonderful. And what do you think has been any obstacle to manifesting that?
Mostly childhood wounds about being rejected and not being enough.
Totally, completely understand that. You have a lot of wonderful self-awareness. I want Mary to be able to dive into the case in just a moment. She's going to have some wonderful information for you, and I know Adina will as well. Ladies, if you can just hold on for 1 second. What I'd like to do is I'd like to invite everyone, and I'm finally remembering to do this, thank goodness. Everyone who's joining us, please get your genius ready. Enter her name, her date of birth, right? You can enter, obviously, the gender and so forth. And now let's come to the screen for the voice analysis. So everyone get ready and have the voice analysis on your genius in front of you. And Brandy, what we're going to be doing in the Miracles Hour, we're all going to be sending you intention, vibration, frequency for this particular issue. So it's going to be interesting to learn what happens next. Now, at this time, what we'd like to do is go ahead and record your voice. And everybody hopefully is ready now with their genius in front of them. And what we do when we record the voice is we have you say your name, my name is, and then you keep repeating the vowels A, E, I, O, U. Now, during this time, you can also say an affirmation. What affirmation do you think of that would be good for this particular situation?
I call into me my soulmate, the relationship of complete harmony and balance.
Okay, can you remember that?
Pretty much.
Okay, so we're going to do it this way. You're going to say your name, then
Okay.
say A-E-I-O-U, and then say your affirmation. And if there's still time, just revert back to the vowels A-E-I-O-U, A-E-I-O-U, A-E-I-O-U. And don't worry if the affirmation is different, just whatever you want to say about manifesting a relationship. Sound good?
Yes.
All right, so we'll start recording you in 3, 2, 1. I'm recording.
Brandy Yared, A-E-I-O-U. I call into me my soulmate, a relationship of complete harmony and balance. A-E-I-O-U. A-E-I-O-U, A-E-I-O-U.
Okay, that was perfect. So everyone now, make sure you go down to the next button down below, and we're going to analyze the voice. So now the very wonderful and sophisticated voice engine is very active at interpreting the voice as a frequency. And then we're going to go to continue. And now we're at the picture page. And so in just a moment, we're going to take Brandy's picture and we're going to get everything set up. So make sure you go to your Genius and you have it. Oh, I can do it this way. Okay. Yeah. Adina, just go ahead and mute yourself. Everybody else mute themselves for just 1 second. Let's see if I can do it from here. Okay. Adina did it. She's awesome. Okay. Fantastic. So Brandy, just go ahead and speak just so we have you on the gallery here.
What is it?
Something like hi. Yeah, that's all we needed.
Oh,
okay. And move just a little bit more. You're sort of not completely in the frame of your camera. So yes, that's it. Okay. So everybody get ready to take Brandy's picture. So you have that information. And I'm going to stay on the picture. I'm going to take mine here. That was perfect. And so I'm just going to, if you're needing to take a picture of my picture, then go right ahead. I'll just stay on here for just a moment. We'll bring back everybody into the gallery here. So I'm just sort of staying here. Remember that your picture carries a lot of energetic information. So the information is captured and interpreted into a frequency by the Genius. So now I'm going to advance it. So hopefully everybody took that screenshot, took the picture of the picture, which is perfectly fine. The energetic information still comes through. And now I'm going to go to begin analysis. And once we begin the analysis, we're going to come to the request for an energetic affirmation. The energetic affirmation is a single word or a phrase that you can say. So related to this issue, is there a word, and it might be an obvious one, that comes to mind for the manifestation of what you want?
Love.
Yeah, that's the one I was thinking of. Okay,
Yeah.
We're on the same page. I love it. It really embodies everything. Okay, so then we hit okay. And now the LOVE or love frequency is going to play in the background anytime we run frequencies for Brandy today. Now, back to Mary. I know she's just percolating with all types of ideas. So Mary, tell us about your ideas.
Just through experience working with my clients and even myself, I have learned over the years that self-love is great love. And people can only love us as much as we love ourselves. So we have that vibrational match. And it's the vibration that you're at. Where are you at in your vibration? And as far as childhood wounds, as we're healing them, if we can get out of the story and just focus on how that makes us feel, like a story. Is it causing us to feel abandoned? Is it causing us to feel rejected? Is it causing us to feel sad? Then we just focus on that and go, okay, here's the sadness. First, name the demon, say, hey, sadness, how you doing? You're here, but now I'm going to let you leave. And the whole thing is letting it go and knowing, even sitting down and doing journaling, I'm safe now. I'm in the present moment, because when we're living in the past, it takes us back there and it causes that physical reaction in our body again. But if we can work on those specific emotions versus sitting in the story.
Absolutely. It's just like Byron and Katie asked the compelling question, where would you be without your story? And there's a startling moment at that time where you just go, whoa, where would I be without my story? Oh my goodness, I'd probably be in a completely different place. And it's the thoughts that we keep thinking, it's really important to examine them, to see if they're true, to see what we've been relying on and, re-explore. And it really sounds like, Brandy, you've been doing a lot of that sort of self-exploration. It really sounds like you've been on your own journey to get yourself sort of in a place where you can have, you've been working on yourself as much as thinking about the other person, it sounds like.
Yes, very much.
Yeah, that's great. Okay, so in this aura reading, this is amazing work that you're doing on your third chakra. So a lot of empowerment, a lot is interesting that the heart, the green didn't really ring in. So a lot of it is on personal power. There may be some digestive issues in there. Are you having any physical issues? There's some pink going through here. Sometimes that's pain or a little bit of stagnation. It could also be related to the crown chakra. Is there anything physically up for you?
Yeah, I'm surprised it's not more pink. I just recently started a lifting weight workout regimen.
Okay.
And I had a pretty intense workout earlier this morning. So my
Okay,
body
so it
is,
is a little bit of pain then. Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely. That kind of pink that goes through the aura there can be pain, blood stagnation. It could be your body just trying to move the blood to heal, to get to the muscles and clear lactic acid. And good for you. It's always great to be in a self-improvement mode and vibration as you're thinking about relationship. And so you're doing all the great things. Now, Adina, do you have any thoughts for us based on what Brandy has said so far?
I believe that she is taking the good route. Sometimes when we want to change and we're working with stuff that we need to change for our good. What Mary says, our self-love, we do, and we love everybody and we do so much for everybody and we forget about us. And when you start keeping yourself busy, you start creating. When you start creating, changes coming. And exercise is one of the best for us when we want to do a change. Why? Because it's an internal and outside of our body. And remember, it's incredible. Some woman says, "Oh, I don't worry about my body." I believe that the first thing we women look is us, that what we're looking, and starting doing the exercise is good. The only thing I would advise you is don't go more of the miles that you don't need to go. Your body, we're not 25, okay? We need to go our intensity. Sometimes too high intensity exercise sometimes are not good for us, okay? And then if you go step by step of where you can feel that this is the strength that I can go, you will enjoy 3 times more, because not only your body will thank you, okay, but all your feelings you would enjoy. You can dance, you can move, and whatever you're doing you can enjoy. And when we enjoy what we're doing is when manifests more in our creativity. Okay, mama?
Yeah, that's beautiful. You know, healers all heal in different ways. And, you know, whenever you're speaking, Adina, so much love comes from your voice and from your heart when you're speaking. So I just want to point out that for you as a healer, even when you're speaking and counseling someone, you're actually in the process of healing them. So you're so gifted, my dear. Thank you so much for being part of our community.
Gracias, mama.
So now, you know, one thing that Mary pointed out last week that she actually does is she often goes through all the reds and blues right there on System Overview. And I think that would be a great thing for us to go through. Why don't we do that, Mary? We're just going to go from top to bottom and go Nogier chakra, meridians, vitamins, chemical sensitivities, hormones, minerals. And we'll do that rather quickly. And then we'll move into, we do have a really cool library called Bliss of Union. And it can be pretty revealing about the different pieces of manifesting a relationship. So we'll have some fun with that. Let's look at the Nogiers. And now when you go into a red item, it's saying that the Nogiers as a collective is something to look at. So the first thing we could do is we could actually add all of the overarching. It's saying that these red and blue frequencies will be beneficial just on their own. So that's why they're red and blue being compared to all these other frequencies. And also we can go to the Nogiers, even though there's nothing red or blue, let's go ahead. L is all about left and right brain, but it's also about clearing out past trauma. Now we're just getting a little bit of feedback from one of your microphones. So Mary, just go ahead and mute yourself just for the moment. We're going to bring you back in a minute. I don't know if it's yours or someone else's. So, and then Nogier B is, let's just go ahead and peek at Nogier B for a moment. And it's lungs, digestion, lymphatic, circulatory. So that kind of goes hand in hand with that yellow color that we're seeing. Now, Mary, let's bring you back and tell us your thoughts about the sacral chakra. So that's the second chakra, and the crown chakra. So tell us your thoughts or even intuitions about these two chakras for Brandy.
So the crown, her connection with divinity, I believe that that has a whole lot to do with what she was talking about, the self-worth, feeling unworthy or rejected or abandoned.
Interesting.
When we can connect, we know that we are all worthy, and we are all worthy of anything that we want to manifest, especially when it comes from the heart with the love. The sacral is all about that, well, not only the reproduction, but also your sexuality.
Oh, yes, absolutely, about relationships.
Yeah, it's about
Yes.
relationship, So yeah, I think those are great to work on. And I did notice two things. One, with the pink also, I've read into that. One of our other practitioners, I think it was Amanda, gave us the really intense aura interpretation. And that pink has to do with wanting to bring in love as well.
That's wonderful. That's
Oh,
wonderful.
okay, good.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. So you're
And
all
then
you're
I
all
have a quick-
lined up in terms of you're definitely everything is pointing in the same direction.
Right. And her energetic field, if you
If-
notice,
if-
Nogiers and the meridians and the chakras all being in red,
Mhm.
it's all energetic that, it's possibility that if she were to run just those, and then also maybe the bliss of union or even the child pandas, to help with that past childhood trauma, that would be great, because it looks like energetically it's interfering for her, which is why they're all red.
Mhm.
Very interesting. Okay, we're going to talk about that. We did have the meridians. So triple heater is related to assimilation, small intestine related to assimilation of nutrients. So again, sort of referring us back to the digestion, sort of turning your food into chi is what the relationship with the triple heater meridian. And then we've got some down at the bottom here, gallbladder. So directly related to maybe gallbladder liver, which acts up in the springtime for sure. So we're just going to include all the reds and the blues. And for this one, we'll use that bulk drag function and get those blues in there. We've got small intestine, which sort of is related to that triple heater issue. So again, echoing issues around digestion. So, as we cleanse the body, so we cleanse the spirit. So this may be a wonderful time, in addition to your new workout regime, is you may already be doing this as sort of a cleanse, maybe a cleansing diet for 21 days, something to sort of lift the energy and also work on gallbladder, liver, and maximize digestion, maybe some digestive enzymes, things like that. What do you think about that, Brandy?
Yeah, I've actually started doing a lot of this because
Wow.
I see it pop up. And so I'm working on my digestion. I got some new supplements and trying to flush everything out and working on the
Right.
lymphatic.
Yeah, you're definitely on the path of self-love and self-nourishing. Was that a a decision that you had to really rally around with some intention, and you really came to this place where it's like, even in thinking about the relationship, was part of that, like, I really want to maximize and focus and give myself self-care?
It kind of went back to what she was saying about other people can't love you until you love yourself, kind of thing.
Absolutely. That's what I
And
was wondering, if that was really conscious to sort of
I
top
had spent,
of
yeah,
mind
I'd
for you.
spent so much time putting all my love and effort into everything else. And in August also was when my kids went to live during the week with their dad. So it gave me a lot more time to really focus on myself and get my love buckets full so that I could be the best possible version of myself.
Yes. And, Brandy, the intestines is all about processing life's happenings. So working there as well, just even like Ariel said, doing a cleanse while you're working on your childhood wounds, you're able to process that stuff. And that
Okay.
helps with the digestion. So there's two, you know, the physical and then also the emotional digestion.
Okay.
Another thing, Brandy, remember, traumas, relationship is like if you eat a bad dinner, okay? Sometimes we cannot digest what is happening. And
Oh, yeah.
sometimes you need to do fasting, okay? And what
Yes.
that is for you to look. In my case, because sometimes I have so many things on my head, I like to write everything. Okay, because sometimes we cannot realize what's going on. We cannot see, but if we write it or record yourself and then go write, oh my God, I miss this. Because for me, relationship is like a fatty plate of pork with a lot of rice and a lot of potatoes and like a big mix that when you eat it, because sometimes it's complicated. Relationship is complicated. It's not an easy thing. But then you have to see, okay, if I do this, how can I divide and separate everything and start looking step by step? And you will learn to enjoy the plate in a healthy way. That's exactly the same thing you will do with your relationship. Because digestion is gonna mess your stomach, is gonna mess your intestine. Mama, you're gonna have a rice and beans in your panza and you're not gonna be able to handle it because emotion is gonna be kicking you to the other side. And then we start dividing. What you're gonna do your digestion when you start writing everything. You're gonna start feeling your stomach like, oh yes, okay, this is digest. Oh, this is digest, and you will help your body, you know, like let go what needs to let go, and your digestion is gonna come like, oh,
Okay,
Well,
thank
mind,
you.
body, you know, somebody once said, you know, how can you separate mind, body, and spirit? You know, they're inextricably intertwined. There's no separation between mind, body, and spirit. And so as your digestion is, so is affecting your emotions and how you feel and, you know, what you're saying and things like that. Now, we thank you so much, Adina, and look at the bliss of union, the manifestation. Let's go ahead and see what we see here. I easily draw someone into my life with similar values. I allow perfect timing to rule. I accept that I am ultimately infinitely loved. And this really goes back to what Mary was talking about. Sharing wonderful conversations with my partner is a positive experience for me. I do everything possible to nurture the love I have for my partner. I easily magnetize a person that matches my values. It's interesting that the values piece has come up a couple of times here. Is that something that you've been thinking about?
Yes, very much.
Wonderful. Yeah. Wonderful. And then, you know, we often consider with the genius that anything above 600 is also relevant. So let's take a peek at some of these. And so these are things that are in your field that are being revealed by the genius because they're an energetic match for you and are being made manifest through the frequencies of the genius. I am now connecting with the partner of my dreams. I accept that I am infinitely loved, thriving and enjoying a relationship with complete ease. And I affirm that I am treasured and accepted for all that I am. So let's include those. Do any of those resonate?
Yeah, especially the treasure and accept for who I am. Since I started this journey and really started increasing my intuition, it kind of freaks people out.
Yeah,
because you're sort of so in tune and aware.
Yeah, and it kind of freaks them out. And so the one particular person that I'm not in contact with is like the only person that I've found who is about the same in tune as I am. So it was very interesting.
Amazing, amazing. So the next one is, I am allowing love in my life. I attract relationships to me that are for the highest good of all. I choose to surround myself with positivity. I find that the person who is attracted to me and I am equally attracted to them. There is balance. I am open to what my partner has to say to me, and I'm constantly striving to grow the love between my partner and myself. And what do you think about those?
Yes, most definitely. Like, I started this journey and it was like a floodgate of men who are attracted to me, but I'm not attracted to them except for this one. And it's so frustrating because they want all of my attention and they will do anything and everything to get my attention. And the one that I want is like disappearing. And I'm like, what the heck?
That's where you can look at how much do you pay attention to yourself. Earlier, you were talking about giving love to everybody else and kind of leaving yourself for last.
Yes.
So that's part of why he's attracted to you. So when we look at that and go, oh, okay, that means I need to pay attention to me even more.
Okay.
I have this card that I actually used my artistic talents and I laminated it and everything. And it's in a few places in my house. And it says, self-care is not selfish, it's self-love.
I've
Yes.
seen that on Instagram recently, or somebody said it's not selfish, it's self-full. I've also seen it stated that way. And we did have a couple other things. This bliss of union is kind of interesting. It has a personal clearing, and it says, I let go of childhood wounds so I can be completely present in the moment. And that's something you talked about. I completely forgive people for past mistakes. That's a powerful one. Let's see if there's anything down here. I forgive others. I'm present in the moment. So a lot about present and forgiveness, and of course, forgiving ourselves. And I'm willing to now have healthy boundaries. Any of those, do they resonate at all?
Oh, yes. The boundaries. Setting boundaries and really speaking up. I was surprised that my throat chakra didn't show up because I tend to like hold my tongue a lot, but setting my boundaries and really just speaking up for what I want and what I need, and then sticking to it.
Was that a tribal or family value as a child? Hold your tongue, don't speak until spoken to, anything like that?
Kinda. Yeah, but I think a lot of mine is because I hear things about situations that people don't want to hear the truth about.
Oh, okay.
So I hold my tongue a lot. Clear and transmute.
Got it. And your awareness of it is wonderful. So this last one is really when you have the relationship, but it could also be leaning into the relationship. So I'm constantly striving to grow the love between my partner and myself. Honest communication becomes one of my natural strengths. I enjoy being in a relationship that is perfectly imperfect, which is, everything is so messy, and just being comfortable sometimes with that. I willingly participate in a relationship as an adult. Whole brain interconnectedness, so allowing your brain to make all the neural connections to heal itself. Something about the temporal lobe. So I know that that's a lot about some interpretation and memory and things like that. And balancing your cortisol. And I experience wonderful harmony in a relationship. How does that all sound?
Very much, yeah. The cortisol, the stressing out about it. Like, just
that's interesting that it came up.
That this is what I want, put it out to universe and allow universe to bring me what is mine.
That's wonderful. Let's include some adaptogens for you, for your adrenals to heal. And let's see which of the adaptogens comes out at the very top. So licorice, gynostemma, which you can get as a tea, and rhodiola. That's one of my favorites as an adaptogen. Holy basil, burdock, nettles, one called suma, which I'm not as familiar with, but definitely rhodiola is a great one. It's great for women. It both calms us down, but also very, very uplifting, can help with serotonin and just dealing with stress in general. let's now go to Progressive Insights, since we have 108 items. And let's see in Progressive Insights what percolates to the very, very top, which is the advantage of Progressive Insights, to see if we take 108 items, which one now rises to the top. Okay, now Sherry says, I'm wondering if Brandy is willing to entertain the idea that this person is not really her ideal match, although they have like woundedness, although they may understand each other's past experiences. Now, I think Sherry is going from her, she's sort of channeling her intuition. We don't know if this is true or not, but Brandy, I'd love to hear your response.
Actually, I would let this relationship go easily, but I hear for me that he is a soulmate.
Okay.
And
That's totally,
so,
your experience is the most legitimate one there is.
yeah, so that is why I have kind of not given up on it, because it would be very easy for me just to be like, okay, this is too much work, I forget it. But something just keeps telling me that we have a soul tie and that we're meant to be in each other's lives. So I'm kind of just giving him space to work through his stuff, and I'm working on myself to be my best self that I can be, so that when he does get through his dark tower, darkness of a soul, or whatever he's going through, that we can come out at the other end. And I think that we will have a very mutual, harmonious relationship.
Hey, it's your journey and you're the one who calls the shots, and absolutely. And you're the one who's going to be the ultimate determinant of that. So we got a 24% rectification. For some reason, chemical sensitivities is high today. Does that ring any bells? Chemical sensitivities could be a hand soap, or it could be a new place that you went to, or it could even be the gas at the gas pump. So for some reason, that's just wanting to be cleared at this moment. We don't have to know the exact root cause.
This is the thing. Yeah, because I live across the street from a gas station, and gasoline keeps up on my sensitivities.
Yes.
But
now,
I don't know.
Do you own that place? Do you own that place, or is it a rental, or do you own that home?
Well, this is my commercial building, and the upstairs I've turned it into a loft. So I just live across the street from a gas station.
Okay, at some point when you get a big client or bonus or something like that, consider getting this called the IQ Air. It's a medical grade air filtration system. They have them, I think, at Bed Bath and Beyond. So it's not like totally, IQ Air, but it's the one that we really recommend as a naturopath. I have a couple of them in my home, and it's really great. It does chemical breakdown of chemicals. It does all types of dust filtration. And so I think that if you're going to stay in that location, it would be well worth it, because even though it's across the street, I mean, I still think there's some level of exposure to it. Especially if you're smelling it, then that means it's getting into your system. And then what happens is when we breathe in things like gasoline, it contains like benzene and different chemicals that are not the best ever for us. And as we breathe them in, they actually go into our bloodstream. From our bloodstream, they get transferred to our adipose tissue, and they can build up in our adipose tissue over time. So it's always good if we can, like when there was a big fires here in Portland, I had an oasis in my house because the IQ Air was able to break down the residue of all of the smoke in my home. So, I mean, what was getting through the ventilation system. So, or something similar to that, but that's one of the best. And so it's interesting that it came up. Aspen is about releasing fear, just sort of unknown fears, triumphing over the fear of the unknown, moving to a place of trust in the universe. And that equal attraction coming up at the very, very top. Forgiveness comes up several times. So that's interesting. That Ho'oponopono script, right? The one that says, so sorry, please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. So forgiving yourself and also doing your best to completely forgive others from the past as you are able to. And honest communication, letting go of childhood wounds. That's something that you said. I do everything possible to nurture the love I have towards my partner. And let's go ahead and do a rescan on this. So back to you, Mary. Give us some of your thoughts as we've been going through this.
I think she's right on. You know, she was talking about feeling like he's her soulmate. You know, sometimes people are in our lives for a season, a reason. You know, could be a lifetime, could be you know, shorter. But if there's something karmically that they have to do together that's going to help each of them ascend, then that might be what she's feeling.
Mm.
You know, I mean, if you both have similar childhood wounds, you know, we can reconnect. Forgive me, let me know if I'm asking too much, but does he have more of like a feminine side?
No.
No? Okay. I'm just asking because sometimes when, you know, if the male has more of that feminine side because he didn't get it, and you have more of that masculine side, then they connect, and you're there together to help each other. You find your feminine side versus having that masculine mask on, and him to find that masculine side versus having the feminine mask on.
Well, you know, that's really crazy because maybe he does have that feminine side, but he definitely does not show it. He's a very, very manly man.
But he's very needy, right? You said he's very needy.
Um,
I thought you said he was needy.
No, he tries not to need anyone. He tries to be like the loner and take on everybody else's burdens.
Oh, okay.
So always everyone is a reflection of us. And even though we think it's, you know, just by chance and, oh, this person's like this, is there any reflection of that that's within you?
Yeah, I do the same thing.
Interesting. Wow. Wow. Isn't that amazing? And you're so,
Yeah.
I appreciate your honesty and your candor.
Yeah. But I definitely know that I was meant to be in his life because since he's met me, he has sought out more healing his childhood wounds, which I don't think he ever really thought of them. He just thought of them as they're mine. I need to keep them. And then when I started to explain to him about helping to release these old wounds and traumas, and that emotions get stuck in your body and then they cause disease and disorder and disharmony, that's when he really started looking into it and started moving in that direction. And then, you know, went into the hermit stage, and I'm like, hey.
But part of that is because stuff comes up, and some people will retreat to deal with it, and other people will reach out and be like, I need help with this. And yeah,
he's definitely not the reach out because I need help.
It's interesting that you see the mirror of yourself. Now, have you ever heard of the book Getting the Love You Want by Harville Hendrix?
No.
Okay, so it's an older book, but still extremely relevant. The information in that book is true as it is today as it was the day the book was written. And you may want to check it out. But the gist of what Harville Hendrix says in that book, and he did a lot of relationship counseling over the years, is that the reason, if we see someone across the room or we meet someone and we have that chemistry with them, and it sort of breaks it down into the basic, you know, essentials, is that person holds an energy that's going to help us work through our childhood wounds. And so as we get closer and that relationship gets tighter, as we go deeper, then our deepest wounds actually start to come out. Some people may have experienced this. So the person that we're going to do this dance with, it may be a very pleasurable, wonderful, happy, and nurturing dance, but also the reason we're getting into it is because we're trying to work out these different wounds and resolve them. And we sort of have agreed to do it in a partnership. Does that make sense?
Totally, yes.
Perfectly said, Ariel.
it doesn't mean the relationship can't be wonderful. And that's, it's like taking that part of it and making it something wonderful where you recognize that sometimes you're hitting up against your wounds. You can even make it humorous and funny. Oh, I'm doing that thing again. And where you really come into a positive support and acknowledgement of each other. So when you notice something that's in your partner, and especially if it's charged, oh, I hate when they do that. It's probably just, you can almost turn it around and say, I hate when I do that. And you're seeing it, so clearly in the partner. And if you take that spirit into any relationship that you have, you're going to notice there's so much more of a joyous experience. The minute that you want to say to that person, why are you doing this? And you turn it on to yourself and you say, why am I doing this? And then you just start laughing because it's so hilariously funny that you're trying to get that other person on the hook for that particular thing that's within you. So does any of that make sense?
Yes, totally. It's an ongoing joke that I have with one of my classmates, that I've had many lives, and in this life I've said, bring it on, bring me as much crap and just hurt and pain and suffering, because
whoa, what a request.
Bring it on. I'm going to get past this. I'm going to level up again. And you're sitting there crying because you're like, why is all this happening? And then she looks at me and she said, because you asked for it. You asked for all of this because you wanted to be stronger. You wanted to be the most powerful you could be. And so you asked for all this. And so then we just start laughing because I'm like, yep, you're right. I did. I asked for all of this.
Well, you can also ask your angels for a vacation period, okay, need a break for a while, so you can ask.
My God,
as well.
angels, yes, they
Want to
work
come
very
down to
hard.
Galveston? There's room.
Yes,
So
it has been.
Go right ahead.
I said it's just been a journey.
Mm-hmm. And it's interesting right here that really working on that crown chakra that Mary talked about, connecting to self-love and the divine. The truth about yourself, impatience is literally impatience, like wanting this whole thing to move forward. Limbic system and wound release is something that you mentioned, definitely something you're working on. Balancing the oxytocin, balancing the hormones. We can look up Heather in a moment. I do everything possible to nurture the love I have for my partner. So also nurturing the love you have for yourself, which you're in the process of doing. And then just some different meridians, and that rhodiola comes up pretty high for you. So you may want to look into it to balance that cortisol that we talked about. Okay. And Heather is moving from just, having to focus a lot on yourself, not being in a relationship, to really being open to focusing and allowing yourself to focus on others and be in connection with them. So it's, right on point for you. Adina, do you have any thoughts? And also, before you bring you in, Adina, I want to ask everybody who's been working on Brandy, does anybody else have any feedback? What have you discovered? What have you observed? Any thoughts that you have? And Nancy says, oh my God, thank you. Things make a lot of sense about asking for it. So when you ask for something, it can manifest, and you can ask for the energy to be tamped down a little bit and get a little bit of a vacation as well. So Adina, what were your thoughts?
Usually just be careful what you're asking, because you remember, whatever you ask is what you're going to get. But if you says God or your creator, send me what can I handle? You see, it's
send me
something
what I can handle.
I know you will give me, I will get the strength. You give me the strength to handle it, but don't give me what I cannot handle.
Okay.
And
I like that.
Never ask for patience, girl, because Dios mío, it's gonna rain dogs and cats.
What is it? Never ask for what should you never ask for?
Patience. No paciencia. No.
Why is asking for patience? Why is that going to cause that experience to happen?
Because when you ask for patience, girl, it's like a lot of stuff. It's opening a Pandora box. Mm-hmm. And then, patient, I want patient. And then this is going to happen. This is going to happen. And then you're like, I cannot handle it.
You're going to get things that are going to test your patience.
Oh, see.
To the limit.
But I usually says, God, don't send me like send me what I can handle.
Send
If
me
I
what
can bless that person, if I can be part of their life, because I'm going to bless that person and I'm blessing myself as well.
That's
Amen.
beautiful.
I'm
No,
here.
that's beautiful. What do you think is, so Marion says she looked into courageous transition. That's a great library series. Marlene says the universe will give you something to be patient about if you ask for patience. So she's definitely echoing what Adina said. Now, coming back to you, Brandy, what are you taking away from this? What are some of the key things that you think you knew maybe a new awareness that has come out of this session?
Really, the crazy thing is how much we really mirror each other.
I think you're right. That's a great awareness to keep exploring as you connect with this person, and it'll be really fascinating. I mean, we can always thank God for the mirror, thank God for someone who sent it. Can be the mirror, but also it can be it's not always work. It can also be a great, joyful, wonderful experience of connection and feeling that we're, connected to the universe, really connected in that partnership. We feel sort of connected to the universe. It's a wonderful and can be very positive experience as well.
But the other really wonderful thing about the biofeedback is that all the actions that I'm taking, all of the work that I'm putting in, I can see that things are changing, that things
Nice.
yeah, which is really nice because, when you're doing all of this, you can like check inside yourself for how it feels, but to actually be able to see a device that can say, hey, you really are connecting with self-love. You really are, improving, your chakras are in line, and to be able to like see validation is also so rewarding, and it's very, very helpful to keep you on your path.
That's very, very well said. I love that.
Nice.
That's great. And we have a comment in here from Sherry. Brandy has lots of insight and a happy nature. I notice she's almost always smiling. She has plenty of energy to unfold on her journey. Good work. What kind words and a blessing from Sherry. We really appreciate that. I do see. Yeah, go right ahead. No, go right ahead.
Thank you so much. That's very nice. Thank you.
Okay. So, just on the aura was so interesting. I was trying to run the solfeggios. I think I'll run them for another minute, but I do think juice cleansing, maybe even if you're having juices during the day and then a nice good dinner in the evening, and then also think about dandelion and burdock. And just as you're thinking about this, your body's probably purging a lot emotionally and physically. And so any type of cleansing adjunct, I think, will continue to be helpful. And I only say that because it came out just really, that aura is like almost like a purging aura that we just saw. And we're going to look at it in just a moment as we get ready to tie everything up with a wonderful bow. I want to really thank everyone who has been running frequencies for Brandy today. You've gotten about 25 plus, really including our wonderful gals up here, something like 30 people running frequency for you today.
That's amazing. Yay!
Brandy, I think the bilingual beats also,
Binaural beats.
or binaural beats under the mind would be really good too, because one of the things I felt and saw is that you're thinking a lot. Do you have a lot of repetitious thoughts where you're just going over and over it again?
Yes.
White chestnut's really good for that as well.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
What you're talking about though is there's a little bit of confusion. I want to just clear it up. So isn't it interesting that we've reverted back to where we started? So we've got the bright yellow and the bright pink. And now I do think that is actually bringing in a lot of crown chakra energy, even though we talked about the pain and so forth. Or it could be clearing out the pain, but I'm tending to like it's that connection with the crown chakra because we ran the energy of the crown chakra for her. Ladies, comments on the aura, your thoughts? Start with Mary.
I think you're right. It looks like, do you see that green there, right?
Yeah. So that's definitely heart connection. Yeah.
Connecting with the heart, connecting with the frequencies and the love that we're all sending to her. that pink again, connecting with the crown and pulling in the love. Because we also have to think, you know, with our brain, we have to think that we are loved and worthy of love. And so I like that pink all up there.
Adina, do you have any thoughts?
Yeah, she start believing and trusting herself and let go.
Mhm.
And be her and love herself. Be una, dos, tres, yourself, nobody else. And whatever else is going to come to you, let it go. Open.
Let it come, let it kind of sort of come of its own accord. And so it's just an interesting progression because we started here and then it went into more of a purple that we see sort of sometimes at the end, like bringing in all that, you know, opening up the crown chakra, allowing a lot of the higher energies to come in, like in 4, 5, 6, and 7, right? Throat, third eye, crown, because the blue, the purple, a little bit of pink in there. And then it's interesting, we kind of went back to more physical. So we went back and we did a rescan and we sort of went back to more digestion. We do see the heart energy coming in, but then look at this. It's really interesting. This is more of a detox. This is more of a purge. That's the energy I was talking about, which is why I went back to my comment about the juicing, the burdock, and so forth. And then final, really, really cool. And you can see the much brighter colors coming in, green, yellow, and pink. So you did an amazing job receiving the energies. Brandy, I think you're going to do just great.
Well, thank you all so much.
It was a pleasure, and keep us posted. Shoot me an email or come back to class and let us know how you're doing.
I will. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you for being part of our Genius community. I'm so excited and also want to hear about how your practice progresses.
Definitely.
All right. All right. Thank you. That was so lovely, and really appreciate you volunteering today, Brandy, and allowing us, you know, just sharing your heart with us and being so kind and giving us all the feedback and staying with us throughout the hour. So I'm excited. I think really good things are coming on your journey. I think it's inevitable. Do you ladies have some final thoughts for today?
Ariel, I wonder if how you noticed the auras, how it came into that physical and then the next was the detoxing. I wonder if it was just how that gasoline, because number one was the chemicals, the sensitivity.
It could have been anything. It reminds me, because she was so honest about her emotional process, it just reminded me more of an emotional purge that she's actually, because physical and mental and emotional are so connected. And so as she's able to really be honest, like, yes, the reflection of myself and all these things, that's what I feel like manifested this brown, which is almost like a physical purge, but I feel like it was also an emotional purge.
Yeah, letting go.
Letting go.
Letting go, being open. Sometimes it's hard for us to hear the truth, but when you're willing to understand yourself, accept yourself,
Willing, yes,
and love yourself, and says, "Whoa, get out. I don't want you here. I'm blessed."
Absolutely. I love it. Well, once again, the two of you have had really wonderful insights and contributions to the case today. So I thank you with all of my heart.
No, gracias to you, Mama, for the opportunity. A pleasure to be with Mary too.
Yes,
Always a pleasure. Always a pleasure. Well, I hope both of you will be able to join us next week. And Mary, I'm going to let you go. And I really, really appreciate you taking the time from your vacation today. Thank you.
Enjoy your son, Mama. Enjoy them.
Yeah, enjoy your time with your son.
Yes, they all went down to the beach because my brother and my 9-year-old niece came as well. So I'll go down there and see how they're doing. They're probably, it's like 92 degrees here. So.
Nice.
Very cool, Mary. All right. Thank you so much. I'm going to let you ladies go here. And Adina, thank you. And I'm so excited about your teaching starting on Tuesday. So I'll send an email to you about all of that, but much love and big hugs.
No, gracias. Espero ver a todos los que hablan español el martes con el favor de Dios. Así que no se pierdan la clase en español. Don't miss your Spanish class.
Thank you so much, Adina. It's going to be awesome.
Gracias.
Okay, and just final thoughts for today. Remember to join us back on the podcast this afternoon. And actually, you can go to you can go to our events page at geniusbiofeedback.com, or there's a super easy link, biofeedbacksuccess.com/podcast. I'm just going to go ahead and put that in the chat, and I'm going to read some final comments and then just close everything down for the day here. But join us back at 4:00 Pacific or 7:00 Eastern, and we're going to be interviewing a woman named Rukmani, who's going to tell us all about Kundalini yoga and sound healing. I know it's going to be a lively and great conversation for someone outside of our Genius community, which is going to be very interesting. If you think there's someone that I should be interviewing for the podcast, please send me a message, Ariel@geniusbiofeedback.com. Now, I just want to say that Sherry says I ended with a bright green aura, which means a real connection to the heart. And they always talk about whoever is in the field, right? In quantum physics, the person in the field also affects the outcome. So as Sherry looks at Brandy, there's a different relationship, and she may be seeing different things. And that's a fascinating thing about quantum biofeedback, that whoever's in the field is also changing the field and changing the outcome, which is fascinating. So Marlene says a 96% rectification, or a much brighter, more colors at the end. Marlene, thank you so much for participating and giving us that feedback. Still learning about the auras, Nancy. If you look at the email that we sent out to the community today, scroll down and there is an aura guide in the free guide section. So scroll all the way down in the email and you're going to see the free guide section there. All right. So, Michelle, welcome to our Genius community. We really appreciate you and thank you for being part of our class today. I'm glad that you joined us. And everybody go out and happy harmonizing, and hope to see you back for the podcast. Thanks again, and hope to see you back here next week for the Genius Miracles Hour. Everybody take care. Thank you. Bye-bye for now.